Should I contact my ex? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. But first, my name is Clay with modernlove.life, where we help you get the great loving relationship that you're looking for without having to play mind games, without having to play hard to get, and without having to pretend to be someone or something that you are not, because you deserve to be loved for the unique, amazing, and wonderful person that you are. And if you agree with me, do me a favor by giving this video a thumbs up and by subscribing to this channel if you're not already. Also, you might be interested in our new training course called Connect and Commit. It helps you to make contact and connect with your ex in a way that actually turns potentially dangerous situations, let's put it that way, into opportunities for connection and bonding and closeness. If you want to learn more about that, there is a link in the description for this video. You can go ahead and check that out if you're interested. I'll also pin a comment down in the comment section with a link for that as well too. But with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about whether or not you should contact your ex. Now, there are a lot of theories, opinions, all that stuff on the internet about whether or not you should contact your ex. I know that there are many people, many of them even well-intentioned, who think that you should never, ever, ever initiate contact with your ex. And that you should wait for them to contact you, potentially even crawling back to you over broken shards of glass. Again, I don't know what it is about the broken shards of glass. Does anyone want this? I don't know why they keep bringing it up. I think that if you want to explore what's possible between you and your ex, then you need to be willing to take the initiative. You need to be willing to pick up the phone, call them, text them, whatever, to get things going. Otherwise, you're just going to sit there passively and build up resentment because you think that they should be contacting you, but they're not contacting you. And then you start to wonder why they're not contacting you. And then you just get fed up with them. And then you start to hate them. And then you become one of those bitter people that says, you know, I still miss my ex, but my aim is getting better. Right? We don't want to turn into one of those bitter, cynical people. So if you want to explore what's possible, go ahead and do it, right? But here are some things to keep in mind. Number one, do you think, knowing your ex, knowing their personality, knowing what's happening between the two of you, knowing your history and all of that stuff, do you think that you have a reasonable chance of having a positive interaction with them right now? Given what's happened between the two of you, given the previous interactions that you've had, given how you've spoken to one another recently and all of that, do you think that contacting them right now is likely to result in a positive interaction? Or do you think they're going to be upset with you? Do you think they're going to be angry at you? Do you think they're still going to be hurt? If you don't think it's likely to result in a positive interaction, then I would at least hit the pause button on contacting your ex for now until you get yourself equipped to actually have a positive interaction with them, okay? Now, if you think that they're just holding on to hurt or pain from the past, if you think that they, don't have the ability to let go of the past or something like that, and they're still holding on to it, then yeah, there are some things that probably need to be cleaned up. Go ahead and use things to go ahead and clean up that situation by directly addressing that situation. You know, if you need to apologize for something that you did or said, if you need to clean up some misunderstanding that the two of you had, but by all means, go ahead and make that happen so that you can actually have the ability to contact them. And then, of course, contact them and, either through text or email or pick up the phone or whatever and clean that up. But if you're just hoping to, pick up the phone and pretend like the argument that you had never happened or something, then that's not a very good strategy. So don't do that. But if you believe that you can actually have a good conversation with them, a good interaction with them based off of where you left things off, based off of how things are with you and all that stuff, sure, by all means. Otherwise, hit the pause button. Maybe think about cleaning something up if there's something that needs to be cleaned up. Maybe think about why you don't think there is a possibility for a good interaction and work on improving that before you proceed to contact them, okay? That's the first consideration. The second consideration is if you're coming out of no contact, right? Oftentimes, people who want to know how to contact their ex are coming out of what we call no contact. I'm going to take it as a given that you have done some amount of research and that you know what no contact is. I'm not going to pretend like it's some sort of great revolutionary new idea that you have never heard from before. If you don't know what no contact is, go ahead and and check out this playlist up there. It'll tell you more information about the no contact rule, specifically the active no contact rule, which is what I recommend people do, versus the passive no contact rule, which is what I have seen many other people recommend on the internet. Let's leave it at that. So yeah, if you're coming out of no contact, you obviously want to be a little bit more delicate, right? Because you don't know where your ex is at. You don't know kind of what emotional state they're in, what you're kind of reaching out into, because you haven't really spoken to them potentially for a long time, potentially for, a month or so. You don't know what state they're in. And so you want to kind of gently probe at first to see if you can figure out where they're at emotionally. Are they open and receptive to talking to you? If so, great, take it and run with it. If they're a little bit standoffish, maybe they're hurt about something. Maybe they're hurt that you went into no contact. Sometimes people can send the wrong message when they go no contact. So if you need to, go ahead and clear things up, but be willing to meet your ex where they're at emotionally and be willing to create that emotional connection and guide them to a deeper emotional level. Okay, so that's what you want to do if you're coming out of no contact. If you need to clean things up, again, by all means, go ahead and do that. If you don't need to do that, just send out a probing message and just kind of get a sense about where things are with them emotionally. The next thing I want you to think about is, what is your motivation for contacting your ex? What is your motivation for doing it? If your motivation is something like anxiety, insecurity, scarcity, doubt, something like that, fear, it's probably not going to go as well as you're hoping. If, on the other hand, your motivation is some sort of conversational, relaxed, easygoing sort of thing, then it's also likely that, you're probably more likely to have good success, because you're going to be a little bit less committed to a certain outcome. You're going to be a little bit less attached to outcome. And the more detached from outcome you can be, strangely enough, the better the interactions tend to go. So watch your thoughts. Watch what's going on in your mind. Watch what is inspiring you and motivating you to pick up that phone, to send a text message, to write the email, to whatever. You want to be aware of whether you're being motivated by fear or insecurity or whatever, because oftentimes if you're motivated by fear or insecurity or anxiety, it will come through in the message that you send. It will come across as some sort of validation-seeking behavior, some sort of thing where it's like, hey, like you're invested in trying to steer the interaction towards a certain outcome, whether that's getting back together, whether that's meeting up in person, if you can even do that these days where you live. Who knows? Whether that is, having some sort of phone call or intimacy or something to reassure you. There are all sorts of things that can cause people to contact their ex out of insecurity, and you want to watch your motivation. You want to watch your intention. And if your intention is motivated by fear, insecurity, anxiety, or something like that, you might want to rethink it. Hit the pause button, think about it, work through that emotion, and try to get to a place where you just want to interact with your ex out of curiosity. And that's really a better place. And if you can get to the place where you're just wanting to interact with them out of curiosity, detached curiosity, that is where you're most likely to have the best results. And finally, I just want to say, don't play the passive game with this. A lot of times people will wait for their ex to contact them. And I've noticed that generally it's people who don't like to be pushed out of their comfort zone, and they wait for their ex to contact them thinking that, they broke up with me, therefore they should get back in contact with me, or they should, contact me first, or I'm tired of doing all the initiating or something like that. And really it's usually just them looking for some sort of excuse to stay in their comfort zone rather than actually go towards what they want. And if that's exploring what they want with their ex, then that's what it is. But don't play the passive game. I want you to play the active game. I want you to be an active participant in what you want for yourself and what you want in your life. And if that means that you're interested in getting back together with your ex, by all means, take the proactive route of picking up the phone, sending a text message, making a phone call, whatever it might be, to do that, to get back in contact, if you're going to do it in a smart way. Again, we're not going to be motivated by fear, insecurity, anxiety. We're not going to be doing this if we don't genuinely believe that we can have a good interaction with our ex. and we're going to do this in a smart and intelligent way like we've talked about earlier on in this video, okay? So if you want to learn more about how to connect and communicate with your ex in a great positive way, you might be interested in checking out Connect and Commit. It's our new training course. You can find out more about that down in the description box below this video or in the pinned comment below this video as well too. But once again, my name is Clay. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please do me a favor by hitting that thumbs up button for this video or by subscribing to this channel if you're not already subscribed. And you may also want to check out this video series over here on texting your ex, or you might want to think about checking out this video over here. Once again, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Please take care, please stay safe and healthy out there. Talk to you next time.